Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel Unfog with Dr. Atar Parveen, and today I'm going to discuss with you about the EMRS General Hindi. EMRS is the short form of Eklavya Model Residential Schools, and they conduct an exam basically to recruit teachers in the EMRS schools all over the India. It is organized by NESTS. It is the short form for National Educational Society for Tribal Students, and it is conducted by NTA, which is the National Testing Agency. You must have heard of this. It is very famous for conducting exams like JEE and NEET, right? This exam is a golden opportunity for all the PGT and TGT aspirants because they have taken out a lot of vacancies. But to qualify for this exam, scoring 40% is mandatory in language competency tests, which includes General English and General Hindi. Now let's look into what is the portion, what is the syllabus of this General Hindi test. So as you can see on the screen, the General Hindi test includes topics like Sandhi, Samas, Vilom Shabd, पर्यायवाची शब्द, सामान्य अशुद्धियां, वाक्यांशों के लिए एक शब्द, मुहावरे एवं लोकोक्तियां, अपठित गद्यांश पर आधारित प्रश्न. Now it's alright if you did not understand many of the terms from the syllabus. I will break down these terms for you in the further slides. So it's alright. Okay. Now let's look into it. What are these topics all about? The first topic in our portion is Sandhi. So what is Sandhi? Okay, so meaning of Sandhi is made. Now for example, let me explain it to you in the simplest way. You will have some two words A and B. You have to combine these two words to give one single word C, which will be a sensible word. Okay. Now for example, I have given here Dev plus Indra will give Devendra, right? We combined the words Dev and Indra to form the word Devendra. It's easy, right? We only joined two different words to give one sensible word, right? That's all. That's all Sandhi is all about. Now one more example we have is Bhanu and Uday. Now we are joining these two words Bhanu and Uday to give a new word which is Bhanuday. Okay. So Sandhi is nothing difficult. It's only two words we are joining to give one sensible word. That's all Sandhi is about. Then the next topic we had in our syllabus was Samas. This Samas you must have also heard in English as compound sentences. Now what we do in Samas is, in Hindi we were only taking two words to join and give one single word, right? But in Samas what we do is, we will take three or more words to give one single word. Okay. For example, I have given here Raja ka Putra. And this Raja ka Putra, we are saying it as Rajputra. See, Raja ka Putra. It's like 1, 2 and 3 words, right? But if it's 2 words, then it becomes Sandhi. But here we have 3 words. So when we are joining 3 words, it becomes Samas. So what we are doing here, we have this sentence which is Raja ka Putra, and we are joining it to give one word which is Rajputra. So Rajputra is the Raja ka Putra. That's all Samas is about. You are combining different words and you are joining them to make one sensible words. Okay. Then third topic we have is Vilom Shabda. Now Vilom Shabda in English we call them as opposite words or antonyms, right? Matlab they have opposite meanings of each others. That's all Vilom Shabd is. For example, we have Anath, that is the Vilom Shabd of Sanath. Then we have Avnati, that is the Vilom Shabd of Unnati. Then we have Antarang, and that is the Vilom Shabd of Bahirang. Then we have Alpagya, which is the Vilom Shabd of Bahugya. Okay. So the opposite words are known as the Vilom Shabd. It's easy, nothing difficult. Okay. Then the fourth topic we had in our portion was Paryayvachi Shabd. Paryayvachi Shabd means we have synonyms. In English, we call them as synonyms. Right? So what do we mean by synonyms? There will be one word and that one word will have some other different words which have the same meaning. Right? For example, I have given here Akash. Now Akash, we all know it is sky. Right? Now this Akash will have different words, but all these words have the same meaning only. They all mean sky only. For example, this Akash is there, no? It will also have words like Nabh, Vyom, Ambar, Gagan. Okay, so they all mean one word only, sky. We can call sky with these many names. Okay, that is only Paryayvachi Shabd. Next we have is Kamal. Kamal is lotus, everyone knows, right? So Kamal, it can also be called as Jalaj or Pankaj or Neeraj or Saroj. These all ultimately mean one word only, lotus. Then we have Ghar. Ghar, everybody knows, house, right? Where we stay. So this Ghar is also known as Griha, Niket, Avas, Alay. Okay. So all these words mean Ghar only. Then we have Chandrama. Chandrama means Chand, moon, right? So Chandrama will have different words meaning Chandrama only. They are words like Shashi, Indu, Som, Sudhakar. Okay, so that is the Paryayvachi Shabd. Okay, so in short, Paryayvachi Shabd means for one word only, there will be some different words which will have the same meaning. Next we have is Samanya Ashuddhiya. Now the Samanya Ashuddhiya means common errors. Sometimes what do? We make some grammatical errors while using the language. We all sometimes make some spelling mistakes. We sometimes form the sentence in a wrong manner. So they are known as Samanya Ashuddhiya. Basically, any grammatical errors which we make during the usage of a language is known as Samanya Ashuddhiya. So for example, I will give, here we have Kantak. But here in Kantak, we don't use Adhana. We use this Bindu. Okay. So errors like these are known as Samanya Ashuddhiya. Next we have is Kantha. In Kantha, this half na we do not use Adhana. We use the Bindu on top of Ka. Okay. Even in Ganja. In Ganja also, we do not use the Adhana. We use the Bindu. In Kangi also, we do not use Adhana. We use Bindu. In Ganga also, we do not use the Adhana. We use the Bindu. So this is what Samanya Ashuddhiya or common errors is all about. Next we have is one word for a sentence or Vakyansh ke liye ek shabd. So what does Vakyansh ke liye ek shabd means? There will be a huge sentence describing something. And to explain that huge sentence, we'll give one single word. Okay. So instead of writing that whole sentence, we can use that one word in its place. So for example, we have Apna naam swayam likhne wala is known as Hastakshar. Okay. Then we have Jo swayam seva karta ho is known as Swayam Sevi. Right? Instead of using these many words, we can use one single word only. Right? It reduces so much of our work. So that is the Vakyansh ke liye ek shabd. There are more examples like Chhatron ke rehne ka sthan. So reduce this down to Chhatravas. Then we have Jiske aane ki tithi malum na ho. Such a huge sentence. We reduce it down to Atithi. Next we have is Maas mein ek baar hone wala. That is known as Masik. Single word for such huge sentences. That is only Vakyansh ke liye ek shabd. Next topic is very interesting. It's been one of my favorites. It's known as muhavre or lokuktiyan. In Hindi, we call it as idioms and proverbs. So idioms and proverbs, we use it in our daily lives also, right? Sometimes we talk to someone when we are, in a conversation. We use these idioms and proverbs. They are very famous. So idioms means they are expression containing a figurative meaning that differ from the phrase's literal meaning. Like for example, we say थक कर चूर होना. थक कर चूर होना means you get really tired after you work a lot, right? So you're exaggerating it and you're telling it that, oh my god, I have worked so much today, it feels like my bones are about to break, right? Your bones won't actually break, but you are trying to express the, seriousness of how much tired you are. So that is known as a muhavra. So you are trying to exaggerate, you're trying to express your feelings in a more figurative manner. Okay, so that is known as a muhavra. थक कर चूर हो जाना. Now this थक कर चूर हो जाना means बहुत थक जाना. Okay, as simple as that. Then next example we have is जख्म पर नमक छिड़कना. तो जख्म पर नमक छिड़कना means you're trying to put salt on an injury. You won't actually put salt on an injury, right? It will hurt a lot. Just imagine if you have a blood cut and you put salt on it, it will burn a lot, right? It's a very horrible type of pain. So what we are trying to express here, इसका अर्थ है दुखी या परेशान को और परेशान करना. Okay, so we are saying someone who is already troubled, someone who is already having a blood cut, we are trying to trouble them more. We are putting some salt on that blood cut. So bad, right? So that is the meaning of this muhavra, zakham par namak छिड़कना. We are only trying to, exaggerate the situation that you are in. It's not, it's not word by word true, but you are expressing it, how serious it is. That's all muhavre is about. Then next we have is lokoktiyan. This lokoktiyan is a proverb. Like we have, in the end of every story, there is a moral of the story is, for example, there is health is wealth. That health is wealth is a proverb. Like that only we have proverbs in Hindi. Those proverbs in Hindi are known as lokoktiyan. For example, we have lokoktiyan, बिल्ली और दूध की रखवाली. There is a question mark, remember. बिल्ली और दूध की रखवाली. Now, there's a cat. What does cat usually eat or drink? It usually drinks milk, right? So, if you put a cat in front of milk to guard it, you think it will guard the milk. Won't it drink the milk away? So that's why that's what we are trying to say here. बिल्ली और दूध की रखवाली. So this proverb means भक्षक रक्षक नहीं हो सकता है. Okay, there are some heavy terms. Do not worry. Bhakshak means the one who commits a crime. Rakshak means the one who protects you. Okay, so like a bodyguard. The one who is about to commit a crime here is Billy. Now if you are appointing Billy, who is the Bhakshak, to guard Doodh, it cannot be a Rakshak to a Doodh, right? It won't guard Doodh. It will drink the milk away, right? So that's what we are saying here. बिल्ली और दूध की रखवाली. इसका अर्थ होता है भक्षक रक्षक नहीं हो सकता. Next example we have is अंत भले का भला. Okay, now I'll explain the meaning. अर्थ is जो भले काम करता है अंत में उसे सुख मिलता है. Self-explanatory, right? अंत भले का भला. If there is a good person, he will do good deeds. He will get good things in return. That's what the proverb is saying. Ant bhale ka bhala. Then last part of our Hindi portion is unseen passages. In Hindi it is known as apatith gadyansh. In English also we used to have this many a times, right? There will be some paragraphs given and you will have to read those paragraphs. And then in the ending, there will be some questions. You'll have to answer those questions, right? So that is the apatith gadyansh in Hindi. So I've taken a small example here. It won't be this small and this easy in the ESMR exam, but it will be somewhat like this. Okay, so let's try solving this. The name of the story is छोटी लड़की. एक बार की बात है, एक छोटी सी लड़की अपनी माँ के साथ रहती थी. So this once upon a time there was a girl who used to stay with her mother. वह हमेशा खुश रहती और मस्ती करने वाली बच्ची थी. So this girl is a very happy girl and she used to have a lot of fun. वह एक आज्ञाकारी बच्ची थी जिसकी माँ उसे बहुत प्यार करती थी. So आज्ञाकारी means she was a loyal child. Means she used to listen to everything her mother tells her to do. She was a responsible child. Okay, so वह एक आज्ञाकारी बच्ची थी जिसकी माँ उसे बहुत प्यार करती थी. Her mother used to love her a lot, right? एक दिन जब वह लड़की मैदान में खेल रही थी, अचानक उसे बिच्छुए ने काट लिया. So this girl, she was playing in a ground. Okay, so while playing, a scorpion bit her. So bichua means scorpion. You know scorpion, right? It is a poisonous insect. So while she was playing in the playground, the scorpion bit her. जल्दी से वह घर की ओर भागी. She ran towards her house. अपनी माँ से मिलने पर उन्होंने कहा कि उसे एक छोटे से घास ने काट लिया है. So probably this girl held the scorpion in her hand, okay, and it bit her, not very hard, but slightly it bit her. उसकी माँ ने कहा, अगली बार जब आप बिच्छुआ को अपने हाथ में पकड़े तो उसे मजबूती से पकड़े. So her mother tells her that in case you hold a scorpion again, hold it tightly. उसको कस के पकड़ना. यदि आप इसे जोर से पकड़ेंगे तो यह आपको कभी नुकसान नहीं पहुंचाएगा. So if you hold it tightly, you know, it won't be able to move. The scorpion won't be able to move, right? If you hold it tightly. So if you hold it tightly, it won't hurt you. Her mother tells her this, okay? So her mother tells her that in case that girl holds a scorpion again, she should hold it tightly, because if she will hold it tightly, the scorpion will not hurt her again. The last line says, आप जो भी करें साहस पूर्वक करें. So this is the moral of the story. It means that whatever we do in our life, we should do it with all our confidence. Okay, we should not be scared of it. We should tackle it with every ounce of energy, with all the confidence we have within us. Okay, such a nice moral, right? So now we are done with the reading of this passage. Now sometimes what I used to do is, while I used to read the passage, I used to underline important points, like there is this moral of the story, it is important, I underlined. In case they mentioned the name of the girl, here in this paragraph they have not mentioned, but sometimes if they mention the name of the characters or the age of the characters or the occupation or some such important information, it is better to underline them, because you won't have to read the entire passage again to find the answer. Okay, so now let's try to find out what are the answers for this paragraph. यह कहानी किसके बारे में है? Whose story is this? This story is about a girl, right? So how will we answer that in Hindi? यह कहानी एक छोटी सी लड़की की है. Here it is given, right? एक छोटी सी लड़की. So that you can take from the passage and you can add it in your answer here. That's what Apatith Gadyansh is about. You take the words from the passage, you twist it, you make your own answer and you write it down. That's all. Then next question we have is, छोटी बच्ची किसके साथ रहती थी? Whom does she used to live with? She used to live with her mother, right? How will we write down in Hindi? वह छोटी सी लड़की अपनी माँ के साथ रहती थी. Third question we have is, उस छोटी सी बच्ची को किसने काटा था? Now what is this question asking? Who bit that little girl? Who bit that little girl? That bichu, that scorpion bit that little girl, no? So we'll say एक बिच्छुए ने उस लड़की को काटा था। Then fourth question we have is छोटी बच्ची कहाँ खेल रही थी? Where was the little girl playing? She was playing in the playground, right? How will we answer that in Hindi? वह छोटी सी लड़की मैदान में खेल रही थी. That's all. So we have answered these questions very easily, right? All we have to do is you take a pencil, you underline the important points from the passage which you think are important, and always point every word with the pencil, which will help you focus more on the passage. You won't be confused when it comes to answering the questions in the last, right? So that helps a lot. Now we have come to the end of our today's video. This was all about the portion or the syllabus in the General Hindi test. Now that you are aware of what is actually coming in the test, you might be a bit relaxed. Now you might be knowing what to expect in this General Hindi test. Please do comment down in the comment section below, and please do like, share and subscribe our channel. It helps us a lot and it keeps us motivated to make new videos. So everyone, keep practicing, keep learning. See you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.